Hello there and good evening from Athens, Greece. My name is Granville and I used to be a tour director for Smart Tours between 2010 and 2019 for 10 seasons. From the initiation of their spectacular Greece tour right through to the beginning of COVID in 2019, when tours ceased. And those 10 seasons, I met so many people. At that time, I was only doing the cruise portion of the tour. I was with the group for 5 days from arrival through the cruise, and then would bid them a jealous, fond farewell as they would embark on the continuation of the trip, the land tour, because that's how it was back then, with a local guide. Always a wonderful, I mean, local guides were wonderful, but it was a sweet, sad parting, you know. And with many of my fellow travellers, I've kept in touch over these 10 years. Amazing, unforgettable people, unforgettable connections. And this is really what I wanted to say. I mean, I don't work for the company now, okay? I did. But what made Smart Tours for me a cut above the rest of the travel companies I've experienced was actually the quality of the travellers. You know, discerning travellers, world travellers. The polarity of America was obvious as well. You know, from every corner of America, it's like, you know, worlds apart. But what would pull us all together? What would make the tours so memorable was my privilege to show people the beauty of Greece and to share the stories from ancient times through to modern times, stories that read like a thriller. What this small country on the southeast corner of Europe, with its thousands of islands, controlling, whoever had Greece, controlled the seaways, the Aegean and the Mediterranean, where west meets east. So throughout time, Greece was occupied. This small country suffered the oppression of occupiers, the last one being 80 years ago it finished, the Nazi occupation, ruthless occupation, followed by a 3-year civil war. So, you know, what a life. But it is this life, it is this story that we visit. And because there was, I mean, one of the occupations was 400-year Ottoman occupation, the Turks, through the Middle Ages until 1821, when when the revolution began, and finally Greece was liberated. In a large part, thanks to a poet, Lord Byron, who pursued the dream of Greece and wrote it for the educated world to read. And his death, after the independence war had begun, was compelled the British and the French to turn their attention towards liberating Greece. So don't give up on your kids if they want talking poetry to you or arts. They might become somebody's national hero one day. History teaches us so much, but one of the things about Greece, because listen, I'm paid to talk, so I ramble on. One of the things about Greece is it steals your heart. And it steals your heart because of the human story. All these oppressions, all these occupations kept Greece backward. You know, Greece didn't have a renaissance. Greece didn't really have an industrial revolution even, because they were occupied by an Eastern different religion. I mean, Greece was a no-go area for centuries. You come to Greece and you travel back in time, not just historically, but you yourself. You leave behind that fast-forward, rewind, delete button of our societies, our cultures, the over-technologicalized aspect of life in the West. where it's all about sort of stress, and you come back to discover that quality of life is just here. It's just right here. You find time to breathe, to listen to the stories, to be touched by the lives of others that remind you, ultimately, how special and important and unique you are. I mean, Greece steals your heart. Okay, my mother was Greek. I'm a little bit biased. I sound deceptively British, but I'm actually half Greek. My mother was Greek. My father was English. But anyway, the good news is that I'm back. I don't work for them yet, but as of next year, April 2024, I will be tour director on the Spectacular Greece tour. This time round, and it's a great privilege for me in a way, I will be with the group throughout the tour. We'll just use wonderful local guides at each destination when we do the land tour, and also on the cruise ship when we do the excursions, the included ones and the optionals. My advice, of course, is you don't purchase optionals before you come. You get here, you see how you're feeling, you listen to learn. Of course, I will be there to guide you through what's unmissable and what maybe would be a better swim in the sea or stroll through the beauty of any one of the islands. So hold your horses on the excursions is my best advice. But as of April 2024, I'm back on board with Smart Tours. They've got 30 tours lined up. I think they'll sell them in installments, but because the tours overlap with fabulous locations, a brand new 5-star hotel in Athens that's yet to open. I hope they get it open in time. No, they will. The Greeks can be a bit slow. And then the fabulous locations we go to on both the land tour and, of course, the dream of the Greek islands. So Smart Tours have tagged the tours I'm actually leading. So if you wish to travel with moi, Granville, and some of you I know will be repeat travelers. Greece steals your heart. And even over those 10 seasons I worked, we had repeat travelers. So I look forward to meeting you at Athens Airport, and I wish you a wonderful summer ahead. See you in April 2024.